welcome to my sushi making roll 101. Alright, so I was just doing some practice run. So first, key ingredient in any sushi roll, or in Koreans we make our version called Kimbop, is a good sushi rice. So it needs to be those sticky rice. You can either buy a Japanese version or a Korean version. So the one I have right now, it is this one. This one is a Japanese version. If you go to Lotte or H Mart, and I believe Costco as well sells the Asian rice. Now you want to season the rice, so you want to do just a little bit, couple dashes of rice vinegar, and then some sugar, and also salt. And you want to just, thoroughly mix it in there. All right, so you have the rice ready. Okay, next you want to get is your bamboo mat. Now this helps you roll and keep the rolls nice and tight. Now, next ingredient you want to get is the seaweed sheets. Now there are two kinds of sheets, seaweed sheets you can buy. Obviously this one looks a lot tougher, and that's because these are seasoned. These you can just cut in little pieces and eat it just right out of the bag. They have more flavors obviously because they are seasoned, but they are harder to roll because the mesh isn't tight. So if you're not comfortable rolling to begin with, you may want to stay away from this. So you may want to go with this option. This is a more traditional sushi roll. Obviously a lot of these will have like pictures of sushi so you can tell what they are. They're obviously very thin because they're just flat sheet, no seasoning whatsoever. And because these are typically not seasoned, that's why seasoning the rice is so important. All right, next thing you want to do, so you get a sheet of seaweed. Okay, and lay it nice inside. When you buy these type of sheets, if you look carefully, there's a glossy side and a matted side. And if you can tell the distinction, the glossy side goes on the outside or the bottom, so that when you roll, the glossy side goes on the exterior. Now what you want to do is carefully put some rice onto the sheet. Now obviously you don't want to create any kind of what they call rice bombs, just heavy on rice. Basically the rice is there to act as an adhesive for the roll to stay together. You want to concentrate mostly on the other side, not the side closest to you. You don't need as much because the end side is where you need the rolls to be tightly together. In terms of ingredients, I've cut up stuff that I had at the house, but obviously you can pick and choose whatever you want to go inside, depending on what you have, depending on your what you like to eat. And as long as they are in some form of thin shapes, it's very easy to do. So for mine, I gathered some ingredients. One of them is sauteed carrots. My husband's allergic to raw carrots, so I always saute them, but obviously it's softer when it's sauteed. In Korean Kimbop, or the Korean version of sushi, we add something called pickled radish. They have like a sweet vinegarish taste it's a staple in Korean Kimbop. And also the imitation crab legs. I just shred it in pieces. It's so easy to do with your hand. My cucumber didn't stay fresh very long since I bought it, so I have a little bit of cucumber in strips. I have a little bit of sauteed and seasoned spinach. I have some avocados and some fried eggs, flat sheet of fried eggs that's cut in strips. Now obviously I'm not going to use all of these in one roll. The roll will be too huge and it'll probably break apart when I cut them. But I would probably mix and match different things in a roll. Now, some people, you can use the Korean version of bulgogi, like there's some kind of meat in here. I've seen sausages, if you cut them in thin stripes. I've seen spam in here. So it's whatever you like. You just want it to be kind of different, pretty color, like mixed up. A little bit of red, a little bit of green, a little bit of yellow if you're okay with like the egg portion. So for this particular exercise, I'm going to show you. See, let's add a little bit of the imitation crab meat. You want to make sure you show some of that red so that when you cut it across the section, it will look pretty. And obviously this is just for the plain classic California roll, some avocados. And you want to make sure there's an ingredient all across the entire length so that when you cut them, each section will have each component of the ingredient. So next part is when you start slowly to roll. Okay, you want to lift the bamboo mat, and you want to kind of create the first wave roll. You want to gather all the ingredients together. You see how my fingers are kind of pressing it inside, and then you want to press it down, and you use the bamboo mat to help you press it down. Okay, once you do that, then the rice helps it to stick. So lift up the bamboo mat and the shape will stay in place. See that? And then you lift the bamboo mat just a little bit more, thus lifting the roll that you already made. And then you press some more and press it down to honor that roll intact, okay? Then you lift some more and you continue to do that, and all the while squeezing just a little bit to keep it tight, okay? You don't want to make a nice roll and then once you start cutting, because it wasn't tight, all the pieces start falling out and it's not good. Not pretty either. And then you keep doing it until you're all the way at the end. And then press the bamboo mat down and just squeeze a little bit, not too much because ingredients will start coming out of the side. And just do that. And then when you remove the bamboo roll, you have a nice sushi roll. Now you want to set this aside on this for like a minute or two, or you can work on your second roll or your third roll and then come back to the first roll. It gives the roll a chance to kind of settle and sit in its place. And then once you do that, have a good working knife and start cutting. The end pieces obviously will not be same shape as the other ones. It is just kind of end piece, but I don't know, it's fun to just, while you're cooking, eating the end piece, because that's your reward for making it. That's how I see it. And you cut the rolls in any bite size that you want. It can be thick, it can be thin, depending on what you're comfortable. Obviously, the thick, the wider you cut, the easier it's gonna be. The tight, the narrow ones take a little more precision. So each one will look like this, and you can obviously put any ingredients. You can also incorporate sushi grade salmon or tuna fish. Just make sure they're thinly striped pieces, and just go have fun. Okay.